covering up to understand what deems an emergency for an A&E and what deems something minor for their children. I think we're clever enough to understand that. I think Mr. Griffiths.
Yeah, I'd like to say something as well on that.
I'm here amongst other reasons to issue a challenge to the people behind this table. I'd like them to come to Formby to start in Save Watchyard Lane, to find that one child at one school has been injured, and for a single mum, like the one I'm referring to, who has to leave the house, she has to walk to 2 schools in the pouring rain, which takes half an hour. She has to walk to Formby Station. Because she hasn't a car, she has to get a train to Sandhills. She has to change at Sandhills and go to Ormskirk, get off the train there in the pouring rain, walk half an hour to the hospital at Ormskirk. She then has to sit down for 3 hours and feed the children. And when she's been seen, and it's now getting dark, she can only get home by taxi, which costs her £30. I'm speaking of a specific instance that was put to me recently and headlined in the local press. That is the reality. It doesn't matter what facilities you've got if you can't damn well get them. That's the first point. So I'd like somebody behind this table to take that challenge. Say, Janet, would you like 3 children to take charge of them in the middle of Formby on a rainy day and get them to Ormskirk in the dark, in the late evening, and then spend £30 getting them back home? Would you like to do that? All this garbage that we've heard so far is not talking about the people at the sharp end who have to access these facilities. Or maybe you'd like to drive a car across the moss that my wife and I did tonight at 4 o'clock and see all the signs up saying mud on the road. There was a lot of mist around, and when we got to Ormskirk, the signs that we saw, as I said to my friend, the signs are red and they're that size, and you can't read them when it's light, and you certainly can't read them when it's dark. The consultants in Ormskirk are telling mothers who ring me up to say that the main problem is people can't find their way to the unit. 2 women I know I spoke to recently actually ended up in a field following the signs. So there are real access problems here. You wouldn't put a supermarket where people couldn't get to, and yet we have this children's A&E unit on the other side of Ormskirk, which not only gives problems to the people in Southmore, it's 10 times worse for the people where I live. Would you like to take these children and do a dummy run for me and see what it's like? Janet, I'm challenging to do that, and the press is sat here, maybe they'll issue that challenge. Would you like to respond to that? Obviously not.
Just saying, as part of this work, what we're trying to do is look at what options are realistic, given a relatively small number of children who are having to make those journeys. I'm not saying that that is a journey that I would want. It's absolutely not. But are there children who could be seen more appropriately, more locally, closer to home, in their own general practice? Are there other options we can do about improving access to urgent care? But the report was very clear about a walk-in centre and whether that would be a good option. And it essentially, no, it wouldn't be a good option as a solution to that problem which you've got there.
Can I have the microphone back again, please?
I've got to come in as well, so.